Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you are here. If you're new, say hello and let me know what state you're coming in from so I can say hello back and welcome you to this community. And for those that have been here before, thank you so much for coming back. Y'all, today is another day where we've been playing Dodge the Rain. Who's gonna win, the rain or me? And y'all, I have to say, the rain is whipping me. The rain is whipping me. It is raining yet again. Today was supposed to be a day of all sunshine, and we did have sunshine. It was beautiful and it was hot. And so I came out this morning for just a little bit, and then I went in the house, did some stuff, and thought, okay, I'm gonna come back out this afternoon when the temperatures go down. Well, when the temperatures went down, the rain came down, monsoon. So I am literally dodging and doing this video in between showers of rain. Right now it's calm. So that's what's been going on. So if you see me a lot in the rain, in the kitchen, different outfits on 5 different outfits on one video, it's because I'm having to piece together and shoot videos because we have had such massive rain over the last month or so. But on today's video, we're gonna take some walks through the garden. We got a lot of stuff to do. We're just going through the garden to-do list. But before we do that, I want to tell you about something that's really exciting that we're doing at the beginning of this video, which is actually networking the greenhouse. So if you're like, what does that mean? It means we're getting Wi-Fi in the greenhouse. And I want to thank our sponsor, UV. There will be a link in the description, a link and a discount code down below in the description box. So if you like what you hear and what you see in the next few minutes, make sure that you click the link down below to get the discount on this product. Y'all, I'm really excited about having Wi-Fi in the greenhouse. And let me tell you all the things that it's going to do for us. So one of the things you guys know that I do virtual classes. And I did an in-person class about a year ago. And with that class, I had some people come down to the greenhouse, and we tried to kind of take the virtual people along with us. So I had an in-person group, and then I had a virtual group. On the virtual group, we brought them down to the greenhouse, and we tried to stream so that they could see everything that the in-person people were seeing. We made it through, but there was lots of challenges with that just because the signal was not strong out here. Also, I do monthly lives with my VIP group. I'll tell you about that later. You can join my YouTube VIP group, and I would like to do some of those lives from down here in the greenhouse, but I have not been able to do that because of the connection. Well, today, all of that changes. We are setting up a whole networking system to where we were going to have Wi-Fi in the outside garden and also in the high tunnel. That's going to allow me to stream live from the greenhouse. So if I do a live and I want to show you the plant and be in my greenhouse and not in my kitchen or not in my office, I will be able to do that. The other thing is that we also have a water timer down here that is programmed, but it's by Bluetooth, which means when we have to change a function, we have to drive down here, get close, connect to Bluetooth, and change it on the app. Versus now we'll be able to do it at our house or wherever we are because we're connected by Wi-Fi. So now y'all know I'm gonna have to slide left when it comes to this because y'all know technical things like this, not my jam. But my husband, he is the man of the hour that's gonna show us how simple it is to network this stuff together. So let's take you through very simply how he put it together, and then we'll test it at the end, see if it works. Okay, the first step of this project was to actually transmit the Wi-Fi signal that we have in the house to the greenhouse. So this is what they sent. This is a transmitter. So my husband mounted it up at the top, and you can see this is my house. And then if I were to turn around, you can see how far the greenhouse is from my house. If I had to guess, that's at least 300 feet from my front door or my house to the greenhouse. So this device right here is going to transmit. It's a transmitter. They sent this in the box. It's going to transmit the signal that's in my house all the way out there.
Here we are with the next phase of this project. So we just left the house on the porch where the transmitter is. Out here by the greenhouse, what we had to do is install the receiver so that the internet signal from the house could actually reach out here to the greenhouse. So this is the receiver, and all I had to do was they supplied all the things that we needed: screws, bolts, everything. And so on this pole here that we have electricity already connected to, I took the bracket that they sent and put 4 screws in it and got it connected to the pole nice and secure, and ran the necessary cables out of it. One for what they call the PoE, which brings power to this device. And luckily, or being blessed, I would say, down here when they installed all of the power, they gave us a outside plug, so we didn't have to run any extension cables, extension power cables out here. We just ran it down the pole and connected it. So this is powered up. Now, the next part of this project is on the inside of the greenhouse, where we're going to hook the router that was sent so that this signal can be broadcast all over the greenhouse and all over the garden. So if we want to stream, do any kind of connecting out here, there's no problem with our phones, computers, cameras, anything we need to do. And also, we have devices that need to be connected to Wi-Fi so that we can control them remotely. So we have a water timer down here that we are going to connect to the Wi-Fi, so that on days like today, when the rain keeps coming and coming and coming, we need to cut the water off or delay it. But who wants to come outside and come down here and get close to it and connect to it Bluetooth to do so? So that is one of the upsides or pluses for having a strong Wi-Fi signal out here in the greenhouse. So this is part 2 of this. We just left the house. And so now these two, we're going to test and see if they connect. And if so, as a matter of fact, let me look at my phone, my trusty smartphone, and let's see if indeed it is connected. So I look at my Wi-Fi, and would you believe we have connectivity? So they are connected, and guess what the name of the Wi-Fi is? It's Living Foods Farm. So we have already done the configuration, and they are communicating. It is showing up on my phone. That way we know that they're communicating. So the next part is getting this signal inside the greenhouse so that no matter where you are, this same signal is just as strong. So here we are at the final part of this journey. Here is the router that they sent with the 2 access points. One is acting as a transmitter. The other one is down here at the greenhouse acting as a receiver. So now that we have the internet connection down here, now we want to boost that internet connection so that anywhere in the greenhouse, anywhere in the outside garden, basically anywhere around here, you can get a strong Wi-Fi signal. You don't have to be real close to the access point. And so that's what this is for. And so we're getting ready to install this up on this pole and just let it broadcast through here, out there, and all around. And we should get the same speed we have at home down here at the greenhouse. And so this is what it looks like. This is the box that came in. It's a Wi-Fi 6 router. For those who understands what that means, that's one of the latest technologies. It'll do up to 1 gigabyte of speed, which is a lot. In the box they have the router itself, and you see all the antennas. We're going to spread those all out. And then it has a power supply for electricity. So we had to run a extension cable over here, and we're going to wrap it all around the pole here and make it nice and neat. But first we're going to connect it and make sure that it is working, and then we're going to then tidy up and make sure that everything looks nice once it's working. All right, so we've connected everything and it's working. We have decent speed down here. We can now stream anything we want. easily make phone calls, and so everything is good. It's in. Now we're just going to go make it pretty, but everything works.
If you can use that device that we just showed you, then definitely click the link in my box and get a discount on the product. The link is down in the description box. Now, let's turn our attention to gardening. So, yeah, one of the first things I'm trying to jump in and do during this rain shower is to spray my squash row because I have squash bugs. Remember, we had squash eggs. We put some neem oil on them, and I thought that worked, but that apparently did not, because we actually now have squash bugs. Let me see if I can find. Now this morning I saw nothing but squash bugs. Let me see if I can find them so you can see what they look like in case you've never seen any before. I saw a plant that was covered in them. Right in here is what they look like right here. Horrible. Nothing but little murderers, little killers of the plant. Yeah, come on down here and kill these.
That's when they were bad.
Yep. And these are my honey nut squash, or the acorn squashes that hadn't even had a chance to, like, they're there. So I have my husband doing it because he can walk faster than I can in case the monsoon comes back. But what I'm using is Pyganic. I've shown you guys this product before. It's an organic solution that kills squash bug eggs. So remember, I told you there's a step method. We started with the neem oil. It's a little bit less, when I say, what's the word? It's not as strong. But then neem oil kills the squash bug eggs. The Pyganic will kill the actual squash bugs. So he's done the whole row pretty much twice. Get these last few right here, honey. And I'm hoping that that's going to take care of it. Now, I'm still getting some squash and zucchini. We harvested probably 7 or 8 this morning, but I'm definitely not getting the yields that I should. So we'll see what happens. And y'all, this is just a part of it. When you're growing squash, I have found nothing that gets rid of the squash bugs or keeps them from coming. So next on the list, while we still have some sunshine, is I'm going to go ahead and start harvesting my corn. So earlier, like maybe a day or two before, I started testing my corn to see if it was ready to harvest, and it is. So in the times past that I've grown corn, when I've had ears of corn to harvest, I've waited too long to harvest it. So you want to harvest it when the tassels are brown and crispy, as well as when you pull back the corn and you press it, there is like a white milky substance that comes out. That is when it's most sweet, tender, and ready to be harvested. What I have done in the past is that I keep waiting to see if it's going to get bigger, if more is going to pollinate, and then by the time I bring it in the house, when I press it, that substance is coming out clear and not milky, which means the corn is more tough than it should be, and which means that it's not, it's kind of overdue. So I'm taking the chance of go ahead and picking it now, because for the most part, that is what I'm getting, that it's ready to be picked. And I would rather err on the side of it being ready to eat versus not ready to eat. So this is what we're going to do as we start to harvest the corn. Here's the final harvest. We harvested about 50 to 55 ears of corn. This is by far my largest corn harvest yet. I am so excited. Okay, y'all, so now it's another day with the same story. It has been beautiful all day today. The sun is supposed to shine all day today, but there have been thunderstorms for the last hour. No rain yet, but lots of thunderstorms. So the temperature has finally cooled down, because earlier today it was very hot and intense and I wasn't able to work out here long. So now the weather is perfect. Let's just see if we can get something done before the rain comes. So one of the first things I'm gonna do is I bought some jalapeno pepper plants. In one of my rows here, right beside the corn, is the row of spicy peppers, but it was overrun with weeds. We are trying to get the weeds out and separate the weeds from the peppers, but it has stunted the growth of the peppers. So I have some that I have just completely lost, and so in the open spaces, I'm gonna put some more jalapeno peppers. I went to one of my local nurseries. They have a sale like most nurseries do this time of the year. They have tons of vegetable plants left, and I got, let's see, 2 whole flats, which is, I think, 24 plants total. I think I got for like $15. So anyway, I'm gonna put those in this row here where I see some open spaces. Okay, so I got 6 in, and I have more in the greenhouse too. I only made it halfway through the row, so as I continue to go down the row, I'll see if I have more open spaces, and then there's still some that needs to be weeded. But for now, we're going to work on something that has been on the to-do list, just like it was in there, which is prune this row of tomatoes. Now, this row has been pruned once, but that was like 2 to 3 weeks ago, and that's when we found our aphids. So hopefully the aphids are gone, because again, I haven't really been able to be out here to inspect because it's been raining so much. But we're gonna get this row cleaned up, hopefully today. Let's go for it. Okay guys, it is another day, and the rain ran me out of here that day and the next day and the next day. So y'all, trying to piece this video together, and so we still have more work to do. Today the sun is shining very, very bright. Y'all, it is, and I'm not complaining, I'm just explaining. It is hot. It is like 91, 92 degrees for the next several days. But when you come outside in the middle of the day, the sun is so intense that you really can't. I mean, if you stand outside for 5 minutes, you are pouring sweat. That's how hot it is. So I've had to wait, and the sun is still shining bright, but it's bearable to try to get the rest of the stuff done. So we got most of this tomato row done. We have only a few more plants, so we're going to start here, but then we have another row of tomato plants. The whole row is not tomato plants, but it's the row where I have the purple hull peas, cucumbers, and tomatoes. We're going to do those tomato plants because those have never ever been pruned, and then we can call that part of the project done and then move on to the next thing. But let me show you what the tomato row is looking like once I finish these last few plants on this long row. Okay y'all, I finally got it done. You can see literally how clear that is all the way down. They are pruned and everything all the way down, and then even that row over there. Talk about a labor of love. Make sure my drip is actually getting in here, but all the way down. And of course I have tomatoes. Y'all, gardening is hard work. That was a labor of love. Gardening is not for the faint. I'm so glad to get that done. That is probably one of my least favorite tasks, is pruning the tomatoes, especially when they get wild like that. If I do it in the beginning and keep up with it every week, which is the goal, not so bad. But when weeks go by and I haven't done it, it just takes a while. But at least I have a clear path all the way through of open space and airflow, and that should bode the tomatoes much, much better. I feel like I'm playing catch up from all the rain, and I've been able to be outside in bursts, and a pocket here and a pocket there. So So there hasn't been continuity of being able to really work in the garden, especially outside. In the tunnel, it's been fine because the rain doesn't bother the tunnel. But being out here, I feel like I'm just putting a lot of ketchup. Now, in terms of tomatoes, you can see I already have some like above the trellis. You can see that right here. It's already above the trellis, and this trellis is a 6 feet trellis. They'll go, 7, 8 feet tall. Overall, they look pretty good. I did see some aphid damage on some of those. I did see yellowing and browning, and that's probably just due to all the water. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually try to fertilize, because out here it hasn't been fertilized in probably at least 2 weeks. It may have even been 3 weeks just because of the rain. So we're just playing catch up. But I'm so glad to get this part done for sure. But before we do that, we're going to plant some green beans in one of the raised beds over here where we have some empty raised beds. I put some jalapeno peppers in there, and I have a few more jalapeno peppers that I need to fill into this row. So let me grab those and the green beans. We'll do that, and then maybe we'll fertilize. And then, y'all, we have a lot of stuff to be harvested. That some of it is overgrown because we hadn't been able to be out here. You know the drill. We're catching up. So let me go grab that stuff and we'll do this. Okay, so we have jalapeno peppers we put right here. I got 4 more jalapenos left. I'll put another one down here on the end to make this front row even. And then on the back side, we're gonna do green beans. I'm just essentially putting green beans wherever I can. So I'm just gonna put green beans all along this back side since I have this empty bed here. I'm trying to get enough green beans to go in the freezer. And I just had these soaking in some water for like a couple of hours. You don't have to soak them, it just makes them easier to germinate. So I'm gonna do them like 6 inches apart, a couple of green beans each, just all the way down. And we're just gonna be adding to our green bean collection. Green beans are only like 50, 60 days. And these are the jade green beans. I tried those for the first time last year and I liked them. So we're doing them again. I do have another green bean that I'm doing in the back of my house. I don't remember the name of it. I'll have to tell you when I do a plant tour. But just like that, we're just gonna cover these up with soil and water them in. And hopefully they will sprout and we'll have germination. So that's done. Now let me just water it in. Okay guys, I got that part done. So we got jalapeno peppers on the front side of that bed. I think there's a total of 6. And then we sowed some green bean seeds on the back side of the bed. So that should give us some more green beans. Right now I have green beans in one of the beds in the back of my house in 2 rows. And then I have, I think, 3 rows in one bed in the tunnel. So I'm hoping that all of them will germinate, and that'll give me a good start of green beans. And then hopefully I can do another succession sowing as well, since they only take like 50 days. I probably can get 2 more in. I've never had enough green beans to put in the freezer except 1 year, and that was on like 1 or 2 bags. So I'm really trying to get some more green beans. Obviously we'll eat them fresh, but if I have some that I can put in the freezer, that would be fantastic. I don't want to can green beans. That just doesn't sound good to me at all. So I think what I prefer is that once the ones that we don't eat fresh, I want to blanch them and then just freeze them and vacuum seal or just put them in freezer bags. We'll see how it goes depending on how many we get. So now my husband has come out here. We're going to start harvesting all the ketchup, all the stuff that we haven't been able to harvest, and let's see what we get. Y'all, I'm tired. I have been at it for 3 hours, and now the sun is about to come out and catch me. I didn't even make it into the tunnel. So we harvested everything that we could. I'll show you guys a shot of it. I was just trying to finish the video before the darkness came. But as I was harvesting, I realized that there were more tomatoes that needed to be pruned that I didn't realize were there. I thought on my row with the purple hull peas, I thought it was purple hull peas, tomatoes, and cucumbers. And I thought cucumbers were the end. But I actually had more tomatoes on the other end of the cucumbers. I probably had a good 10. So my husband helped me out and helped me prune those because, y'all, I'm hurting. Catching up and never caught up is basically the name of the game. I didn't even make it to harvest into the tunnel. I did not make it to fertilize, but we did, after many days of this video being produced, we were able to prune all the tomatoes. We have all the tomatoes in the greenhouse pruned, all the tomatoes out here pruned and clipped up. We were able to plant some green beans, more jalapeno peppers, and we were able to do a harvest out here. So that's a win. That is a win. Let me show you some of the harvest. So the things that I can carry, we have a bucket of tomatoes. The bottom are cherry tomatoes, and then we have some of our Amish paste tomatoes that are blushing that I pulled. This is a new one to me called Eye Candy. I cannot wait to see. It's supposed to end up being a color like more red, but since it was turning from the purple to the red, I went ahead and pulled it, and the rest are like cherry tomatoes that were blushing. So we have like a half a bucket of those. We already have a whole bucket in the house, so plenty of tomatoes. These are all of like the spicy peppers. So we have jalapenos in here. I think this is ahi crystal. It looks like a banana pepper, but I know that I only planted one banana pepper because I bought one. I didn't start any. I planted one banana pepper, which is in the greenhouse. So this has to be ahi crystal. My tag was missing, so it's so frustrating when you don't know what something is, but it has to be it, which is a new one to me. And it's supposed to change, I think, into like an orange and red, but it's a spicy pepper that is supposed to be really good. It's my first time trying it. And then we have some red ember. This is my favorite cayenne. If you can tell, it's more meaty and thick than the thin, long cayennes. And then we have a few jalapenos. So we got that basket of peppers out here, and then we got this basket of bell peppers out here as well. Y'all know the peppers have been struggling because they were chock full of weeds. We finally got things weeded, at least I would say 80% of the way, and the plants look puny. They had some fruit on them, so I went ahead and got the fruit that's blushing. These are yellow monster peppers. This is brand new to me. So it looks like it's an elongated shape. So I need to look up and see, is that how it grows? This is my first time growing this, but it's yellow monster. It's pretty big. So I have a couple of those in here, and then I have also some red wonder, which is also a new wonder red, I think it's called red. Yeah, but no, I think all these are yellow monster. Yeah, all these are yellow monster. So I got this much here. So that's a good little first thing of bell peppers. This is our first bell peppers coming in. I probably have maybe this many in the house, so maybe, I don't know, 20 or so. So we're just getting started with the bell peppers. We're just getting started with the spicy peppers and the tomatoes. What's really been in production has been cucumbers and squash. That has been the main thing, and then cherry tomatoes. So we're just now getting into the bigger tomatoes blushing, and then all of our peppers ripening. But we're still, in June. July for us in 7B in Tennessee is the biggest harvest month. That's when things are the most productive, the most prolific, and we have the biggest harvest for us has always been traditionally in July. In August, we're still harvesting a lot of stuff, but in August, by that time, the heat is just taking a beating on the plants. And so we may be on a second succession, or the tomatoes may starting to get insects and disease. So traditionally July is like the peak time of harvest, although we're still getting some good harvest right now, but this is just the beginning. Also, we have a whole basket of squash and a whole basket of cucumber. Let me see if I can get my husband to bring it up. If not, I'll send you guys. I'll not send you. I will show you a shot of the harvest. Here is our basket of squash that we got. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 squash. They look really, really good. Okay, guys, my husband's gonna have to lift the cucumbers. I'll try to show you a shot up here of all of the harvest that we harvested today, but we have a whole basket of squash, a whole basket of cucumbers, probably another 15 or 20 of them, plus what I showed you. So a good harvest, but y'all, that's just in here. I didn't even get a chance to go in there. So hopefully on one of these videos, we're gonna do like a full harvest of both things. We got all summer, so I know it's coming. But y'all, remember, if you want the equipment that we showed at the beginning of the video about connecting, if you have a situation like that where you need to connect some things, then there's a discount code in the description box. And then also, if you want to take advantage of the GREENSTALK sale, remember my code is LFF10 to get you an extra $10 off your order. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me, for rocking with me. I appreciate it. If you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting on? Subscribe to my channel. Be a part of this community. It is a safe place to learn, to be inspired, to be motivated to grow food. Remember, y'all, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.